Hmm. Okay. Well, let me see if I can get the mic in the right spot here. I think that'll work just nice. Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about this a little bit. So there is, and never has been done, talk of the Holy Grail run of Vayne. Pretty much of basically any Souls type like game. There is a run that is above really any other run. Hey Marcus, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream tonight, or today. Whatever time it is for you, welcome. Glad you could make it. So the run here in Vayne that is a no-hit run, I venture to say, and I dare to challenge, that it is one of the most, if not the most, challenging run ever that you'll probably ever see in any run of almost any Souls-like game, including Dark Souls anyways. A no-hit run. Hey Thomas, how are you? Welcome to you. Good to see you. I hope you're having a great weekday here, Thursday night, or whatever time it is for you. Hope you're doing well. The no-hit run here in Vayne is exceptionally challenging, just because of the fact of how wacky some of the hitboxes are, number one. Number two, with how crazy getting ganged up upon can happen. It can happen so very quickly in so many very different interesting areas, and there are traps set up in place to make sure that you don't actually make it through a certain area without taking things like really slow. No hit run sounds like the dash gift will be used a lot. However, Marcus, you will have to start at a new game, so you won't have lightning charge. So you'll have shifting hollow, but you won't have like a regular, a full character, because we'll have to start on a new game. I guess that would be one of the rules that we should add to the description. Would be a fresh character, like brand new save. So let me show you guys what it'll take just to get through the basic underground here, if we can even do it. Now we are going to allow a partner, and White Mia will come with us here at the beginning because she is allowable. And so we'll see what this is like, and we have a crazy build here for Venom. It's just whatever I have here on my level 1 character, and so we are level 1, so all of the damage values and everything we're gonna have, they're gonna be what most people would have at the beginning of the game anyways. So to give you guys kind of a flavor of what this is gonna look like, we will be, you know, a little more overpowered than we normally should be, but this is what it's gonna look like. So we can get through the first enemy pretty easily because it's a backstab. So yay, we did the first enemy in the game, no hit. So something like this is gonna be crazy. Hi Amadeus, good to see you. And so backstabs are going to be kind of the most imperative kind of thing because they give the most iframes out of everything. However, a lot of times when you do backstabs, you have problems with enemies ganging up on you and dealing damage at exactly the right time when you don't want them to. So that is ultra problematic. So this is nice that we can you know, run around here a little bit and ruin some of these guys pretty quickly. Now here is the first place where you will be encountering a trap, because you will have gunners and you will have enemies and such. So getting a bayonet here would be fine. So we can use our partner here a little bit if we want to, but we can't get too crazy, because the minute we, get touched by anything, we are going to have some super duper problems. So we can let Mia take care of a little bit of this, and so far this would be, a very, very slow kind of start here, and then you would open up your door there, and the first part of the first area would be complete. So this is the kind of crazy shenanigans that you're going to get into should you encounter down this path of down the path of a no-hit run. Hey Million, how are you doing? Zero Light, how are you guys doing? It's that guy you really like watching. Thanks, I appreciate that. So now you're greeted with your first kind of decision here. Do you go that way and take on the challenge of the big boy, or do you go this way for a little more craziness with a whole bunch of little enemies? And at this point, I think it's better to go for the amount of little enemies, because you're able to dodge away from them, and you're able to make some better decisions here to take care of these guys, and you can make your way around the bayonet guys here pretty easily to run over to the missile. So this is another place in the first area that is a trap that we will have to make some serious decisions here, and at this point it would be better to go for something like Blazing Roar or Lightning Spike. Well, at the beginning of the game you'll have Blazing Roar more than likely, and this would be useful to take out the gunner up top, just to make sure that he is out of your way, because that gunner is the one that will be very, very possible to take you out in one, or at least hit you with his bayonet, and so that is important to take him out. And these guys obviously will not take one hit in normal play. Okay, and let's go ahead and just rest here. So we made it to the second missile of the area here, and we don't need to fight the big boy. There's anything over there that would help. If you take damage, would you restart the run or the area? You restart the run. If you take any kind of hit, if you're blocking and you take a hit, if you take balance damage and your focus meter down here changes, then that would count as damage as well. And that's important for like these big guys, because they will do a lot of balance damage with the ground pounds that they do. And so they can hit the ground and it will make you stagger, and that also counts as a hit. So this run is exceedingly punishing, with no real area for mess ups. So this area here will be exceptionally difficult to get through. It won't be impossible, but it will be one of the areas that you have to take a little bit of different care. So we will bring back Blazing Roar just because that's what we would have at the beginning of the game. And so for this gunner, you would want to take the high road here, and then destroy this guy. Okay, and then run back so we don't activate anyone ahead of time, because this is exceptionally important that we don't activate any of these guys in any other order other than the one order that we want them to activate. So we want to go for this guy first, and then the gunner, and we'll take the backstab on this guy because that guy then will run around, and as he gets out of range there, and that would be run over. So that would kill the run right there. And so that would be, you know, restart back all the way to a new game. No hit, am I insane? Don't answer that. Hey Demandre, how are you doing? So that would be the one area that you would want to take a little more caution at, because of exactly that. That big boy, I didn't have him run far enough around the corner here, because if you get him to about this elbow, he'll turn around and come back, and that'll give you enough time. But if he goes too far, he'll come up, he'll jump over the edge, and he'll attack you anyways, and he'll attack you at the top of the ladder. So if it's possible to get him around to the elbow, I had him around to about here, and then he turned around and he got me. Can you guard with the Zweihander with the Alice Chrome? No, that also counts as a hit because the enemy is hitting you, so you are no blocking, and so that guy is the one that you would be most like leery of, because of how tough he is at level 1. Basically, you can farm these guys out here to about level 35 in about 2 hours or so. So if you need some levels, these 4 fellas right here, they're easy enough to farm. If an enemy sneezed and looked and you took balance damage, you get pimp slapped to the start. Yes, that's exactly right. This is one of the most painful runs, and if you're gonna do it the right way, which I obviously can't do it the right way because because I don't have the time, the right way would be to do it in one sitting, and that would be the most appropriate way to do a no-hit run, would be to do one sitting, no hit, no balance damage. The rules are in the description there, and I think I do need to put in the description here rule number 9, that it needs to be a fresh start character. What do we say? New save character, something like that. Yeah, we'll do that. And so that way, it would put everybody kind of on the same footing. You know, you feel like Camo and Night Stalker will be overpowered in this. It will until you get to the bosses, and so you need to kill some enemies to level up or farm. And so once you get past that area there, then you have to run. Once you get past that, it's pretty much no problem. There's really no other sticking points, no other crazy traps until you get to Oliver. Then you fight Oliver, and then you get to this point. So the parking deck is full of ambushes. This area is going to be a complete nightmare. So you don't have camouflage. You don't actually have any of these until, let's see, when do you get them? I believe it's something like the City of the Falling Flame or the Ashen Cavern, something like that. That, so you don't have it for like the first half of the game, and sound suppressors or Night Stalkers, Night Stalker, it doesn't come until you get Assassin. Where is Assassin? And you get Night Stalker here with Assassin, which you don't get until the Howling Pit, and then you have to get all of the vestiges for that as well. Are you going to do a minimum hit run though? Test myself and all that? No, I'm going to try for the no hit run. I just am going to discuss kind of the rules and kind of what we're looking for, and kind of the sticking points and some of the run areas. And so, you know, it's not really helpful to just jump in and try it unless you do some preparation ahead of time. So I'm going to try and do some prep here with you guys, kind of discuss some of the interesting sticking points, some of the strategies, some of the boss fights, so on and so forth. Presumably you count guard canceling the animation of a bayonet backstep as a glitch, which just leaves shifting hollow as a mobility aid. I mean, it's not a glitch. Animation canceling in this game with gifts and stuff is a big part of like strategies of actually using stuff. So if you want to do, you know, gun dashing, you know, that's completely on you, but you have to be really good at gun dashing, and so I'm going to leave it in because I don't believe it's a glitch really, because animation canceling I'm a super fan of. I think animation cancels are a brilliant method to strategy, because it means that you're doing something intentionally on purpose. You're not doing things by accident and it like breaks the game, right? It's not like somehow you're getting, because if you get lightning charge, you have to go to DLC 3 and you have to fight the Lord of Thunder with no hit, and you know, I don't really feel like doing that, and I don't think I could even actually do that, and so getting lightning charge is gonna be such a mess. Blood sacrifice? No. This is not a no damage run. This is a no hit run. And so damage is like completely fine. If you're doing self-harm, like cleansing light, blood sacrifice, you know, so if you have like these two running together, right? That would be completely fine. And if you want to do like a gifts only kind of a thing, you know, yeah, supernatural blood, red shoes, all that, completely fine, completely available, completely normal, regular, perfect. That's completely fine. I ain't against any kind of damage. I'm against fall damage, and I'm against you know, like balance damage and anything that is going to hit you and kill you potentially. So getting through here, you can make this run, but you will have so many enemies running behind you that it's more than likely that probably what you want to do is take these guys on with a bloodshot, and just have your partner kind of take these guys on at a distance. That's more than acceptable at this point, and this guy will just let him do his thing. So there will have to be a lot of these points in time where you actually trigger enemies. We are brainstorming. Hey 911, welcome. Because these guys in these areas, I mean, that could have ended the run right there. Will let Mia shoot her horrible aim up into the clouds there. And so it would be like minimum effort here at this point to do anything. So this part would be fine to do a run, because these guys you can, oh, that would end the run right there. So that would be, you know, that would be run over. Oh. So that's how awful this and painful this run will be, is something stupid like that, a knife out of nowhere, an enemy that, you know, I mean, it's just absolutely mind-bending how difficult this run is going to be. I don't honestly think that I'll be able to do it ever. I really don't think that I have the skill level to actually even attempt it. I'm going to put my hat in the ring, just because I think it's going to be interesting to see if we can try for, you know, like a real run, just to see how it would go, and what it would take, and how much fortitude it would take to actually get through. Will I attempt the tower and the DLC? No. Absolutely not. I'm going to do as little as humanly possible to get through and complete the game, because all I need to do is see the end screen and say, look, I completed. Oh, that's a run ender right there. That would be a run ender right there. And the tower is just absolutely insane. and the DLC is just a non-starter for me completely. So okay, getting through the parking deck here is going to be an absolute nightmare, but let's look at the butterfly fight and how awful that one's going to be. So I know there are people out there that can absolutely do this. I have no shadow of a doubt in my mind that someone out there will do this, and well, maybe not will do this, but will totally be capable of doing this. But getting through the butterfly. Now this will be the first real trap that you're going to have to attempt to get through, because this is going to be so very, very difficult in every single possible way. It is going to be just absolute crazy possible chaos because of the variety of her moves and how she actually attacks. That is the one move that is the very, very difficult one. And that is the run ender move, is the double spin slash. Everything else will be mostly fine. It's just that that double spin slash is going to be the very, 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 very difficult move to get across. So let me head back to the title screen, and let's do a new game here, and we'll see if we can even get through Oliver, and see how that goes. So let's start a new person, and we'll start it up, and we'll see just how we go. Hey, Cruz.
Can you hear me?
And so I'll show you guys what is allowed here as far as mods.
Search your memory for an image of
Would you be able to use that one Atlas gift that blocks all damage of one move? Does that still count as a hit? It does count as a hit. You cannot get hit. It's not about damage. It's about having an enemy connect with you, and you take some kind of damage from it. We'll call this no hit tutorial. Let's do that. Same thing. No hit tutorial. Okay, great. Obviously we're a female. And let's go load appearance. Who should we be? This is one of my personal favorites. Let's see. We should be not Chloe. And we'll just go with my favorite here, for right now. Okay, confirm.
Yeah, that's what you look like.
Blade Bearer and Cannoneer will be terrible. Blade Bearer and Cannoneer will probably be a run ender for a very, very many attempts. If you like it, it'd be better for my sanity to allow checkpoints. No, not for, I mean, that's why I call this the Holy Grail run, because it is, you know, it is absolutely insane how difficult it's going to be. Like, absolutely crazy insane how this is going to be. Like, you beat the butterfly, now you restart from that save rather than restarting the whole run. No, Thomas. This is meant to be punishing in the most punishing, brutal, grueling, you know, possible way. Checkpoints would be good for a practice run, but no hit runs are concrete reset on hit. I agree. I totally agree. And it needs to be done in one sitting. That's why I will never be able to do this, because I won't have 6 to 8 hours in one sitting with the skill coupled. You know, I just won't be able to do it. I know somebody, I want to give enough insight, and I want to show kind of what it would take to even get to that level, and And, you know, I want to sit back and watch somebody someday, you know, actually do it. The man has a type, black and red eyes, two-toned hair. Well, I mean, hey, if it works, you know, keep it going. But here we have the cruise hair, and this is a mod, and that's allowed because it's just simply purely cosmetic. It has nothing to do with like gameplay changes or anything like that. So,
this one's dry.
He's dry, so we'll see if we can moisten him up a bit. Okay, so here we start with Oliver. Since partners are allowed, we're definitely going to keep him here with us. That's fine. We'll use the pipe. We'll start with fighter, and we'll go from here. It really doesn't matter about having regeneration, because as soon as we get hit, the run is over. And it really doesn't matter like what we're using here along the way. Probably should start with this guy so we can get Blazing Roar very first. I'm a based man. He's dry like the comrade. Okay, so here we go. We have Sonic Arrow, and that's about it. Okay, and so we can start with a couple of backstabs here, and as you can see, we can get through the first dude in the game easily enough. And so we'll backstab this guy. We'll let Oliver take care of that fella over there. And every time we get iframes on a backstab, that will be the most, yes, that will be the most beneficial thing that we can go for. So we will always have to go for backstabs where possible to make sure, you know, make sure we get those iframes and everything along the way. A no partner Blade Baron Cannoneer no hit would suck. Getting to that point with no partner, no hit would be equally impressive. I mean, no hit Blade Baron Cannoneer no partner, that's already been done, but not in one sitting where, you know, you're actually doing something. So yeah, you have to keep that in mind as well. We'll get rid of this and put the axe here. Fall damage count as a hit? It does if it kills you, and it wouldn't count as a hit because it's simply damage, and it's like an environmental damage. So I'm not going to count that. But if it would kill you, then I would constitute that as a run ender. Okay, this guy is going to block us, which is fine. We will just have him come around this way. We'll go for that backstab. I don't know what comrade is. What a revelation. Turn your eyes skyward and ask God if Owen will even taste the succulent comrade with butter running over it. Okay, I don't know most things. I just know the values in vain. That's all I know. Okay, and when we get to the next area, we will definitely take advantage of getting Mia, and we will take her with us. We'll definitely take the Lost Bayonet for now, and we will go for a backstab on this guy if I can. Okay, no backstab. That's great. Cornbread. Oh, all hail cornbread. Bread of corn. Okay, gotcha. I thought it was an M. I thought it was C-O-M. Thank you, Thomas. I do know what cornbread is, and I do like cornbread. Cornbread's very wonderful. Sorry. You guys should know by now that I can't read chat correctly. You guys act like you've never been here before. It cracks me up. Anyways, yes. And the no-hit run will be fairly slow in all respects, just because you want to single out and single target each enemy. Hey Miko, how are you? Personally, sourdough is your favorite. Cornbread with honey hits good. That is very good. Okay, so now that we've gotten through the door, we will definitely switch to White Mia, and she will take us through most of the area. Let's go ahead and get Blazing Roar, and that would be one of the better gifts that we can go for here. And sure, we'll take Dark Impulse for no real reason.
Hope something turns up.
But it'll be nice at least to have it. Okay. And onwards we go. Tutorials, I don't care. Let's definitely take the Queenslayer Greatsword.
Is it something nice?
It is something nice. It's a very beautiful weapon. Okay, so here we'll definitely take the damage we can take when we can get it like that, which is very nice.
Marvelous.
You've never been here before. This is the first of my streams. Oh. Oh, well, that's fine. You're not missing much. I just enjoy you know, having fun in the games that I play. And I'm not really into like super crazy hardcore challenges, but this is one of them that I would love to bring a little bit of attention to. I'd love to see somebody actually do it, and I'd love to actually like just give folks a little bit of oh, a lost broadsword. That's very nice. Give folks a little bit of a knowledge check that if they are interested in going for this run, that it would give them at least some kind of hope that that they would be able to do it. Okay, so here we're definitely gonna have to get that guy and go for a little bit of ranged attacks there, and then we'll wait for this guy to turn his back and we'll head to the missile. Enjoy having fun in games? Scarlet's Impossible Challenge? Yeah, well, you know, I still am going to finish that someday. It is not something that I will finish immediately, obviously. But it is something that I will finish one day at some point, at one time. Don't you worry about that. I will absolutely finish that. And so we will take care of that at its own point in time. Yes, Mia, we have to fight all of them, and I'm going to use you as a very, 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 very big human shield here to make sure that we kill all of these enemies. Okay, good. He's gone. And this is where we are going to sort of mimic a gifts only kind of a run. Is we will just go ahead and make sure that we destroy all these guys from a distance. So this fella equally, he is going to be something that we will hopefully destroy at close range here. Good. Alright, so far we have not been hit, and we have not been in real danger. It shall be done eventually, maybe, perhaps, potentially, possibly, hopefully. You forgot that too. Garlic bread with cheese and a bit of chicken parm on the side on your garlic pancakes. Oh my, garlic pancakes? Wow. Well, I guess if they were like savory and you had like garlic pancakes with no, and they were like a savory pancake, and they weren't like filled with syrup or whatever,
It's nice to be
then I think it would be okay. Okay, now we get the Queenslayer blade, which is wonderful for us at this point, that we can go for that, and we're fine going with the Queenslayer claw here. And this guy, we're going to leave him up there. And we'll just leave these guys, we'll leave them be. And we'll make sure that we just pick up what we need to along the way here. And then we'll get into the Oliver fight. Now there's really no reason to get a lot of, you know, real excitement about, you know, what we're going through here, because things can end like super early, super easy, and super quick. So yeah, just keep that in mind with chocolate garlic flakes. Sure, why not? This is Vane after all. Has there been any testing to tell what companion gets the enemy's attention the most? No. However, here at the beginning, White Mia is obviously the best option, because she's way better than Louis, and she's way better than Oliver, obviously, and because she has Lightning Spike, she will do exceptional here with the Oliver fight. You put syrup inside your pancakes. How do that? Witchcraft? Mitchcraft? Okay, so for this part, it is simply a run to the Oliver fight and don't stop along the way. And hopefully Mia does not die at this point. I guess we could do some regeneration, because if we are healing Mia along the way, then that would help significantly to heal her up, right? So sad Louis noises. Yes. Well, that's actually how it is. Okay, so here we go. The first oh, and the game just said nope. Okay, well, that's fine, I guess. Okay, well, we'll do a little bit of this here while we have the chance to do it. Oh, and that's the end of the run, because I missed to pay attention. So that is that is a failed run here on Oliver. I guess I'll heal him because I missed the fact that I was locked into the animation for Bloodshot. So there's our first tutorial. Distracted driver. I don't know if it was as much a distracted driver as I was like locked into the first animation, you know. So I mean, if you would want, you just go back to the beginning, and then start all over, and you have to not get here, right? But it is an all the way back to the underground entrance, all the way back to the very beginning, right? So yeah, it's literally that crazy, that insane, and so like you'd have to go back to a new you'd have to go back to a new character and everything to actually start over, and this is gonna wreck like all of the save files and everything, because like you'll have new characters every single time and you'll have to do the opening sequence every time, and so it's going to kill like everything just to be able to do that over and over and over and over. And this right here is going to be the pain of a no-hit run, is the restarts. And we'll just let's just go for Q. Why not? Obviously we're female. Let's try a different character this time. Let's see. That's my Halloween outfit. We'll go for the red hair here. Okay, we'll confirm that. Oh, this didn't take. Okay, this is cute. Yeah, that's what you look like.
Now, we can finally meet.
Maybe make a custom character for the run, so you know which save files to remove. Yes, I will do some cleanup and everything. Obviously, to get rid of all of these makeups and oopsies and whoopsies and everything. But getting to the Oliver fight is not so bad. Getting through Oliver, obviously, the best course of action would be to like missile route out to make sure that you to make sure that you get back to the missile and get White Mia and bring her in. So we'll bring that with us this time. Listen, kid, I hate to break it to you, but the dynamic duo is now the dynamic Uno. Yes, that's actually true. Yeah, Million, it's going to be a miracle if anyone actually even gets to the Blade Bearer and Cannoneer not getting hit by a single thing, because that means that they have gone through like Emily, and they've gone through the Gilded Hunter, and they've gone through, you know, some of these crazy fights where it's going to be like absolutely insane. Like there are so many like challenge checks along the way. The first one I can think of is going to be the butterfly. That is going to be like the hardest. That is going to be the hardest first challenge to overcome. And then after that, I would say that the next hardest challenge would be Aurora, the successor of the Ribcage. That is going to be the next most difficult challenge to get through their no hit. And then after her, I think it would be the Gilded Hunter. And then after the Gilded Hunter, I think it would be Emily. And then after Emily, I think it would be the Blade Bearer and Cannoneer. And then after that, it will definitely be the Queen's Knight Reborn. And then obviously the Skull King, not getting hit by him, it'll probably have to be like a gifts only type of a thing. And that'll be, you know, a challenge, a super challenge all in its own right. So obviously here it'll be, you know, kind of the same here. If you attempt it, you'll probably try to one-shot the later bosses. Yes, that will be obviously most agreeable if you can. There will be a lot of farming involved for sure. Whoops. There'll be a lot of farming involved for sure to get levels. Where the heck am I going? In order to make sure that you do have enough damage and everything that you can put into like one-shot setups. But the problem is you won't have like steadfast strike or any of that. So that will be some super problematic, you know, exercises that we're gonna have to go through in order to even get to that point. So you won't have steadfast strike for Mito, so you won't be able to one-shot him in that regard, and so you'll have to get a little bit more creative. And we won't have Radiant Barrel for the dynamic duo. If we did, we could actually go for a pseudo one-shot. As you've seen on my channel before, we've gotten able to do a one-shot on the dynamic duo with Radiant Barrel, but we won't have that luxury this time around because we won't have Radiant Barrel, and we won't have the ability to actually do the DLCs without getting hit, because the DLC bosses are like fully made up in such a way that you will get hit. Absolutely will get hit. There is no ands, ifs, or buts about it. It is a guarantee that I will get hit no matter what I do for the DLC bosses. Maybe end game the Frozen Empress, I might be able to get through her, but the other bosses, it's not possible for me to get through there without getting hit. So just play Hurricane by Luke. Combs the entire fight for Butterfly. What? Hurricane by Luke? What do you mean? Imagine dying from Final Journey in this run. Oh man, that would be so depressing. Like, wow, that would be
first.
That would be just miserable, man.
What do you
That would
think
be
we'll find?
absolutely horrendously miserable. Like, you get so far,
We'll be hard pressed.
and then you don't get the chance to finish the run because you die from a gift. Oh man, it wouldn't be counted as a hit though. I mean, you're not getting hit, you're just dying, right? You're taking like infinite damage in like half a second. So
You have to use every tool you have,
don't know.
right?
that's something that would be definitely interesting to understand.
There's a lot of them.
Okay, so now if we want White Mia
The lost over there.
in the
Small.
Oliver fight, we're gonna have to go down this way to pick up the okay, we'll take this guy out first and then we'll go for the slimes. We'll have to take out these guys so we can get the missile root item. And by the way, I got a new mouse, guys, the Vivifier, so I can actually scroll through the I can scroll through the items now without it going crazy. Look at that. I can scroll back and forth, no problem. Easy peasy. That's very, very nice. Very, very helpful. Okay, good. That guy's dead. And now we have to switch Lost Broadsword. And we'll go for this guy. Okay. That should get us a kill into this fella here. Okay, great. Great. Now, whoever Butterfly does double spin, play the chorus to that song. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to be quick mobility, and we will have to have shifting hollow for that boss fight. Absolutely, there's no way around it. We are absolutely going to have to do that. There's just no possible way that we're gonna get into it that deep and not be quick mobility and not have shifting hollow. Okay, good. That guy is not interested in us, and Mia will take care of him. She just got hit. And so we'll rest up here. But wait, it's not deathless, just hitless. It's technically not a hit if you just combust. Yeah, that's right. So that's kind of up in the air. We would have to all decide on that, and
I'll be right there.
we'd have to decide whether or not that would count, because if you do take like fatal damage, I mean, I can't just excuse that, right? But yeah, I don't know. That's something we definitely would need to discuss in detail, maybe in the comments or over on the Discord. We can decide whether or not that is something that needs to happen. Focus stamina usage might be helpful later on. Poison will definitely be helpful, for sure. Sure, we'll go for... Oh, we don't have any points for that. Okay, cool. And we can put on our new gifts here. That's great. Okay, excellent. Hey Louis, what's up? So we'll go ahead and just talk to Louis here, and
Thanks a lot.
we'll go together, and then we'll go and we'll switch Louis back out. So for once you caught a stream, hey OPEX, we're theory crafting here. So as we go along, we are figuring out what it actually
I'm on my
takes
way.
for the first area here, for the first part, to actually get a no hit.
Fight all of them?
And so we'll see if we can get through Oliver even, and see how that goes. But I'm not very hopeful for myself. What I am hopeful for is that someone in the community will get to be experienced enough and confident enough and alert enough to be able to do this and pull this off. And I would love to be there when it actually happens, to actually know that somebody pulled it off. And I have every confidence in at least someone in the community being able to do this. where can you find the Discord? In the description? No, it's in the community tab. It's not a very active Discord, like, you know, but it's one of the very first posts on the community tab. If you scroll all the way, there's a big Discord face. I made it kind of hard to find and on purpose. Maybe I shouldn't do that. I don't know, but I thought it would be nicer to have a smaller community, just like we have here on YouTube, anyways. And we just have a small community of dedicated folks to Vayne, and I thought it would be much nicer, more intimate that way, instead of having like a billion people that just spam all kinds of crap. Like, it's actually a place where 911 gives intellectual, brain-busting comments, and then I respond, and that's the Discord. Oh man. But it's a place where I thought it might be fun to have comments and discussions along the way, should there be any. But it's not so active, and I don't really expect it to turn into anything at all. So it's up to you if you are interested in even joining that. But it's not off limits or anything. It's just I haven't made it very public. So many ways to make the Discord accessible. There are so many ways. I've just not chosen to do any of them. Sorry. I don't know if that would be better or worse for the Discord or for the channel. Okay. We'll just let Mia do her thing here. Why don't you go for Mia? What's wrong with you, Mia? Okay. We'll let Mia do what she's doing there. Okay. Good. This is so much more Ichor efficient. Okay. Oh boy. Now, it would be nice to parry all of that. However, it's very, very dangerous. Okay, Mia, just hang in there. Good. Okay, Mia, go get him. Ooh, she just took it in the face. Now, we did not, dodges don't count as a hit because you are getting focus meter and you're not actually taking damage. We should actually do some of this. Okay. That's very nice. We get a lot more damage now, 30% more, so that's nice. Okay, good job, Mia. Nicely done. Okay, so, hey, we got through Oliver. No hit, so that's great. Now the tricky part will be doing that. The tricky part will be getting through there without Mia and doing it by myself, you know? And I think I could potentially do it, but I don't know. So I'll think about what is the good? How can Owen get this good? It's good in and of itself. Yet all things can be without it. Yet good is good, but not the good. Oh my goodness. That was a brain bender if I had ever read one. And but hey, we made it through that part. I need to do a no-hit run? Just parry. Yeah, well, parrying's allowed. It's just do you have the balls enough to actually do a parry, to actually go for it and, you know, gamble the entire run on whether or not you actually guessed right. So that would take a lot of understanding, more so than what I have. For the butterfly, there's one parry window that we have. That's possible, but it is, you know, you have to understand what are the windows that are available to actually do that.
If you want it, I
Yeah,
got it.
yeah, just don't get hit. Why didn't I think of that?
Come again soon.
Okay. That is a great piece of advice, enchantment. Thank you very much. Okay, so here we have to switch for White Mia. Absolutely. And cool. We are now onward. So we did one area, no hit. And you guys saw it, no hit. And we followed the rules. However, the question is now, how far can we take that, right? I mean, wow. Now we get into the next part here, which is going to be exceptionally awful in a whole lot of ways, just because of how these enemies sneak up on you and corner you and gang up on you and engage in, you know, 3 and 4 and 5 deep before anything happens. So fortunately, we don't have to do the depths, we don't have to do the DLC, we don't have to do the Virgin Born,
Go ahead on your own.
we don't have to do, you know, anything in that sort. We just have to get to the end and say, look, we did it. But I don't think we'll actually even get there. So I just want to see kind of what it would take. I want to show you guys kind of what it would take. I want to see kind of some of the theory crafting, some of the strategies, some of the different areas, what we need to do to level up, what we need to do to farm up, what we need to do to, you know, do different things at different areas. I mean, we can only get 1 level at this point, so it's not really worth it. You can only imagine confidently parrying on the butterfly and the blade bearer. Yeah,
The path is
there's a few bosses that you can comfortably parry on, but there's not a whole lot of them that are exquisitely simple to understand when and where to parry on. Oh, okay. And that's the end of that run. So we got a little bit farther than we did with the Oliver fight. Oh man. So yeah, that is literally what it takes, and that is what is going to engage with this thing in this way. And even if you have like all the gifts in the game and everything, you know, it's still not going to make it like that much easier, because even if you have lightning charge, you can get stuck on walls and different things sometimes, and you can actually not really do even that well, just because of the fact that you know, even though you have lightning charge or some of these other things, you know, it really doesn't matter, because you're still going to have a really rough time getting through certain areas. So yeah, that could have been avoided, I guess, if I would have just been back a little more and let Mia go forward, or throw a knife up there or something. Knives will probably be a little more usable and user-friendly. What made me try to do a no-hit? Well, I think, hey Emerald, welcome. Good to see you. I think what it is that because it is the Holy Grail of Vayne, and I think it's going to be the hardest of any kind of Souls-like kind of game ever. It's a run that no one has attempted, no one is talking about, because everyone has dismissed Vayne as a super baby game, and that it is, you know, it's nothing like Dark Souls, and so therefore it could never pose a challenge or any kind of threat or anything to anyone, because there's all these big brain Dark Souls fellas out there, and so what could Vayne possibly offer them? And I submit to pretty much anyone, anywhere, ever, that this is the #1 run that if somebody would do this, like, they would literally be etched in history because they actually finished the no-hit code vein run, according to the rules. So I'd like to throw my hat in the ring here, and kind of, I mean, I've always dreamed of this, but I don't think it's something I'll ever be able to do personally. But I know there are people out there that can do it, and I'd like to ask and see, is anyone willing? Number one, and number two, is anyone who is willing, capable to actually do it? So to get through the Howling Pit here, this area will be exceptionally interesting, just because of how the water here and how the bog predators actually operate, with how much you have to understand with these guys. It is incredibly difficult to get through here with no hit as well. Hey Thomas, you take care. You have to jet for now. Friends want to watch stuff together? Not a problem. Have a great night. Enjoy your friends, and we'll see you back here sometime. And good luck with the road to 100. That guy's there. Mia killed him. Good. Okay. And see, even now, like, we have all of these great gifts and everything, but it still poses a significant threat that, you know, any little one small problem, and we are over. Like, it ends very, very quickly, and this is where knives would probably be helpful. So let's go ahead and switch to that, and see about getting some knives employed here. That guy is maybe... okay, we'll let him go. And that guy didn't come back, so we'll go for this guy.
I don't like tight spaces like this.
Oh. Mia is ruining my parry potential there. You don't know if you remember but it was in your plans. You did routing for it. Oh, Mia. Almost to the end, you stopped because you still have yet to figure out the cat boss and the duel fight. Yes, I do remember that, and I would love to see it done in one sitting, the proper, correct way. You routed for solo. Well, see if you can do it with a partner, and just as a start, just to see what it would take even with a partner, because even doing that is no walk in the park, because your partner will die, and then the AI will retarget against you, and it'll be quite a mess and everything. So just see if you can get through it with a partner, and we'll take baby steps, right? We'll start somewhere, we'll start small, and then we'll see, you know, if we can get it some traction, and then see how it will evolve from there. But just getting through, you know, that little bit, obviously is hard enough. But then trying it with a partner will at least give you a fighting chance, right? It won't be something that just, you know, literally is ending the run, you know, immediately. We gotta start somewhere, and we gotta practice. So try that. Try doing it with a partner, and then see how you fare. And then if it is completely ridiculous still, then it is a matter of just, you know, getting a little better strategy. Whoops. Okay, and this guy is an absolute nightmare here. So this is going to be... okay, good. We didn't have to deal with that. Here you would pick up the key, so that's nice. And then we would head over this way, and we would obviously avoid these fellas. And that's the thing, is just getting a practice in, and getting an idea of where you need to go, and what you need to do. Like some of these enemies are mandatory, right, because they hold keys, and so
Lost over there.
it's important to understand which enemies and which non-enemies and stuff do we actually need to go for. Oh, and that's the end of that run, right? And so that would be, I mean, that's how punishing it is that literally any one of these guys at any point in time is potentially a run ender. Whoops. Mia's not gonna get me, no. Anyways, yes and no, depends on how safe are those strats for hitless runs.
Hey, are you okay?
Non-glitchy speedrun strats might be useful. Potentially. Less time means you can do more runs and have less time to mess up.
Maybe
That's...
we should try rethinking things.
We should, Mia. We should. We absolutely should. We should not be doing a no-hit run. I am not the person to be doing a no-hit run. But that is potentially true for certain areas. Obviously, like the Louis strategy to do the you know, the reckless abandon where you go across and you skip the butterfly, the pole dancer, and the despot, you know, obviously stuff like that, it's not proper because you didn't actually do the butterfly or the stripper or the despot. And so doing the bosses in order, you can pick these order however you want, but you have to do like all the bosses in the main story order. Obviously you don't have to do the Queen's Knight, but if you want Cleansing Light and Queenslayer and all of that, then you have to do the Queen's Knight. And so, you know, is it a run that you want to do without Final Journey, or is it a run that you want to gamble and go for the Queen's Knight and get Final Journey? So that's kind of up to, you know, a personal preference of whether or not that is something that you would want to do. And so just getting to that point obviously would be pretty incredible. And so if we go try, let's just go try the butterfly, and we'll see if we can do a no-hit you know, ability check on her, and just to see kind of what that would take. Obviously you can have 2 fire gifts at that point. You can have, well, I think you can have 3. You can have Blazing Roar, you can have Flame Spike. Flame Spike, I believe, comes from Hunter. Yeah, so you could have Flame Spike, you could have that, and you could have, I don't have Firestorm. Oh, and you could have Firestorm. This comes from Prometheus. Yeah, and so you could have these 3, and you could play, you know, some shenanigans here with this. Let's see if we would go for something. Probably go for the Blazing Claw at this point. Probably.
Now we're ready.
And just to be able to get a no-hit on her, obviously that would be pretty amazing outright. Okay. Oh, let's get some I-core here. And we do need Shifting Hollow here for that double spin. Oh, and the Poison Ball would be nice too. Okay, that was intense. At least she's going for Mia, so that's nice. We'll let her do that as long as she can. Okay, just don't do the double spin. Okay. As long as we're far enough away, we should be okay. And here comes the poison, and we should be able to go around the right side and attack her, but I'm not going to even chance it. will let me figure out what she's doing. Oh, there's Venom. Okay, so we didn't do Venom, or we didn't do the dodge the correct direction. And that's where, you know, most butterfly fights will end. Will be in that exact problem right there. Will be the fact that, you know, you get hit by the poison trail. And the correct way to dodge the poison trail is backwards and then to the side. That is the most proper way. Can you do Queen's Knight off tier? What does that mean, off tier? Either way, ribcage would still be incredibly difficult. Yes, the ribcage, the successor of the ribcage will be amazingly problematic. I would say that if you want to practice the Queen's Knight, just go to the 0 district and practice here. And then that'll give you at least an idea of what kind of moveset you're going to be up against, because the Queen's Knight has the same moveset as the Queen's Knight Reborn. The Queen's Knight Reborn is a little bit crazier, so if we try this again, I think we can actually do a no-hit on the butterfly. It just takes, you know, the correct dodge pattern, but this is where most of the runs will end if they don't end before the butterfly. This is where they will end. In painstaking sadness will be right here at this point in time. Okay, let's get some ichor. Okay. And this is going to be okay, great. So that's like the easiest way is to do gifts on most of these bosses. But it's not really I mean, the bosses are definitely going to be problematic, but one of the gifts that you will get from Assassin, where's Assassin? Obviously, Night Stalker is going to be like super imperative that as soon as you get Assassin in the Howling Pit, get all of the vestiges for it. It'll be very, very dangerous to get all of them, but it'll get you Night Stalker, and that will give you the ability to run without triggering enemies, and that is going to be very, very important, especially when you get through the Crypt Spire for sure. You can move the sides and then dodge once to the same direction, and you'll be able to dodge it. In fact, there's times where you can just sidestep it. You don't even need to dodge the trail attack. Correct. However, if you are looking for a consistent, like all the time method, the backwards and then to the side is you know, one of the best ways to always remember that if you just go backwards, if you go backwards and then to the side, then you'll always miss it. But isn't there an item that gives you a similar stealthy effect, or is that only available later? So you will get Night Fog Veil from Heimdall, which you don't get until after the until after Jack is part of the party, which is I believe it is in let's see, after the Crown of Sand, I believe, is when Jack joins the party. It's been so long since I've actually had to remember or care when Jack joined the party, because I don't care about Jack almost ever. But Night Fog Veil will then be MJ310s, which is a pain in the balls, and so you'll have to use Heimdall and then use Night Fog Veil to unlock it and buy it, and it's expensive and blah blah blah, and it'll be a pain to unlock. But yes, you can use Night Fog Veil in tandem with Night Stalker, and that is most preferred, especially when you get to the government center and you need to make incredible runs, you know, to get through. However, there is the camouflage, which does come sooner. You do pick up a few of these in the dried up trenches. That's the earliest you can get them, but they do come a little bit later as normal drops. So you can get these, the soonest you can start buying them from the store, I believe, is that right after the Ashen Cavern, I believe, is when they're available. And when you're getting to the City of the Falling Flame, you can start buying these. And so you'll have Night Stalker long before that, so it's not really important to know where the sound suppressors are. But after you beat the Successor of the Throat, you get Jack as an ally. Oh, okay. So it's right before the Crown of Sand. Okay, thanks. Or just after. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. It was the Crown of Sand. Thanks. And so that's where, you know, only at that point. And if you never notice this, the butterfly drops in the background when you reset the area. Bloop. It's kind of funny that she's like the only one that does that. It's kind of neat. So yeah, there's an incredible amount of level of difficulty that's going to be in this, in a significant way. And if you do the Tower of Trials and look at the Successor of the Claw and kind of play that fight, it becomes an incredible understanding of like just the difficulty level that you're gonna go through. Oliver's not too bad. Obviously, you can stay away from him. The butterfly has the she's just dropping by. That's right. But the butterfly, obviously, she's gonna have her double spin, and which is very hard to dodge, and the poison mist when she charges towards you. Those are going to be the two run enders for the despot. He's not too awful. I don't really see him as being a super problem. One, because you'll have Sanguine Roar, and you'll be able to have Bloodshot, and let's see, you won't have Dusk Edge, and I believe, no, you won't have Blood Weapon, because that's from Dark Knight. Yeah, Blood Weapon's from Dark Knight, so you won't have it there. And I guess you could just have, what would you have in place? Probably just Sanguine Roar and Bloodshot is what you would have at this point, and maybe Firestorm just as another gift to have along for the ride. But this guy, I don't think he would be too much of a challenge, just because you're able to actually like kill everything pretty easily, and especially because like, except for that, getting distracted, right? Getting distracted is always a problem, but he's fairly easy to dodge, and because you do have ability to do blood damage with your gifts, you'll be able to you know, have pretty big damage kind of whenever you want. And so if we get a little bit of Ichor here, and you can see how much damage we're doing there, and this is level 1 character, so if you were like a level 30 or 40 character or something like that, now that you have to be careful of, because when he does that slam into the ground, he will do balance damage. Same thing there. So you don't want to get into any problems with that. I don't think I hit him with that, but oh well. Same thing here, balance damage from this. So that will be important to understand. Right there, always dodge forward into those things. Okay, we just got super lucky there. and killed him before he hit us, because we got locked into an animation that would have been a hit for sure. But I don't think he'll be that much of a problem, because you'll have Sanguine Roar and Bloodshot available to you, and you'll have roughly these levels of damage, or of gift value. You won't have a +10, but that's okay. You know, you'll have something on the order of like this, you know, 400 or whatever, in it, and it's still comparable. And then you can just put a gift chrome on there, and you can do some pretty good damage overall for the Executioner. That fight will be pretty difficult. It will have certain parry windows that you will definitely be able to take advantage of, but here you'll have Sanguine Roar and Blazing Roar, and you'll be able to make pretty good use of those, and definitely bring Firestorm along for the ride, because it does have some pretty good balance damage. The only problem will be here that you won't have super Ichor recovery. So if we go for the Executioner, it will be a pretty difficult fight, just because of the fact that she hits like a truck. And she will do, you know, all kinds of crazy attacks, and we have to try and get her locked into this animation right here. Okay, she's not gonna do it. Okay. It's important to stagger her out of that attack. Now this is where all the sliding nonsense comes in, and so we will have to continually dodge all of that. Okay. Okay, great. And let's back up. Oh, we completely missed her right there. And poison is going to be, you know, one of the most very important items that we're going to go for. Absolutely. Hey, Million, have a great night. It's been a long week and you need some sleep. Excellent. Have a great night, and have a good time. See you, Zero Light. Have a great night. Thanks for stopping by. And yeah, we'll be planning here a little bit, and we'll see if we can actually do like a real attempt, and see if we can actually get through, you know, literally anything at all. So I don't think the bosses are going to be terribly the problem here that we're going to have to go through. The problem will be literally just getting through the area, because each of the enemies will be problematic in and of themselves, more so than anything else. You never thought about getting a few more blood codes early game? Oh yes, the gifts and the codes are going to be like, you're gonna have to put a lot of time and effort into like leveling and mastering gifts in order to port them over to actually create like a build, and because you're going to have to play to the boss weaknesses and the enemy weaknesses for sure. So if you start leveling in the first area, you know, you can probably spend about 2 hours leveling to about level 35 or so, and that'll carry you pretty far, all things considered, and you'll be able to do some pretty decent damage with like Sanguine Roar and such, and you'll have higher values than this, specifically because you will be leveling up. It'll be very, very nice that you'll have at least some kind of comparable damage for light and dark, and you'll be able to actually do some pretty decent damage. It'll kind of be like a gifts only run in a sense, with a little bit of flair thrown in, that you will be very, very tentatively moving through different areas. So if we just try and get to the first missile in this part, now in the parking deck here, we will not have Sanguine Roar, we will have Firestorm, and we won't have Flame Spike, but we will have Bloodshot. So we'll have something like this. So it'll kind of be up to Mia and Daggers. So the best thing we'll be able to do here is just run away. Just let these guys do whatever. Alright, OPEX, have a great night. 6 a.m. Oh, geez. You still have a life and things to do. Yes, we all have lives. I totally get it. Have a great night. Have a great morning. Good grief, 6 a.m. So you're quite a bunch of hours ahead of me. So yeah, have a great morning, man. Take care. Okay, so getting through this part here, obviously will be mostly put on the shoulders of our AI partner to take us through, to make sure that we are not taking any undue risks, and we will take backstabs and such where we can. We will have to take all of these guys one-on-one in order to minimize all the risks that we are going to have along the way. And then this guy, we will probably just take him out with gifts because he's at distance and that'll make the most sense. This guy will throw dynamite or a knife. There's no way to sneak up on this fella. And we'll definitely rely on Mia for most of the front line kind of damage. We will have to sit back for most of the areas just to make sure that she is the one that is doing the damage and getting involved with the enemy, to make sure that that we're not doing anything you know, crazy like this. You have to learn trigger points and everything to make sure that we are triggering the enemy while not getting engaged. As you can see there, they go right for you, right out the gate, and we'll let the AI kind of do some of the problem solving for us. And on this lady, it's all about the backstabs for sure. Now, if we were able to do like a non-fresh character where we were having at least some kind of gifts available to us and everything, then it would be a little bit easier. You thought you saw someone mention a Discord? Is there one? There is one. If you go to the community tab and you scroll very far back to the beginning of the postings, you'll find the link. It's just not very public, and it's not very active. So take that for what you will. I don't mind at all if you join. It's completely, you know, non-related to anything. There's a whole bunch of different categories in there and stuff. It's just typically it's 911 and myself talking back and forth. But you're more than welcome to join and share along in the fun that should be had by all there. So for these guys, it's mostly just a lot of like gift only engagements. Now here we have our decision. Do we go through the lots of enemies this way, or do we go through the invasion that way? I'm inclined to believe that going to the left is going to be much simpler than going to the right, because going for the fellas with the invasion, that will be an incredible amount of problems that we don't really want to engage in. So it's worth it, I think, to go this way, because we can remove most of these enemies before we actually get to anywhere that's dangerous. Okay, and as you can see, if we do enough gifting, we are able to actually get through here fairly decent, and we're not even really using any gifts except our actual casting gifts. And same thing here on this lady. backstabs all the way, and then we will take care of the doggos afterwards. Okay. Mia, you're shooting a little high there. Okay, good. And this is where, like, having all of the ichor available will come in, like, super handy, is that we will definitely probably need, like, a Devour Chrome on our Veil here after a while. But I think the Venus Claw will be obviously one of the best possible choices that we'll have available to us for the longest time, just because of the sheer amount of damage value that it's going to have. And monkeys, these are going to be a significant problem for us, for sure. And we'll let Mia try and take him down, just because we don't want to fight the monkeys, because they will ruin us very, very, very quickly. Okay. And this guy, we will just wait for him to do whatever so we can get a backstab. You think going pit before butterfly might be nice? Yes, I agree. Probably going down for like assassin and a couple other things, maybe getting the impaler. There's definitely some benefit. It doesn't get you Nightfog Veil, it gets you Night Stalker. Merciless Reaper is maybe beneficial. It's not going to be incredibly beneficial. Whoops. Oh. It's not going to be incredibly beneficial, but it might be helpful a little bit. But Night Stalker is definitely of value. And here, this guy is triggered no matter what, so it's worth it to just, you know, just run up to the door, not a problem, and then reset the area. That's completely within the realm of possibility here. Now, the problem will be getting across the bridge, so I'll show you how to handle the bridge, one enemy at a time. But you're right, Baxter. Going to the pit will be the appropriate first way to go first. And so here you will need knives and or a different bayonet. Okay, so from here it'll be Bloodshot for sure, and then we will okay, once you get a lock on, Bloodshot does fire farther than your lock on, so that's very nice. So we're able to take those guys out. Even if it takes a little more ichor, that's completely fine. And for her, you want to get her excited to follow you over here, so you're not fighting over there, and then you can simply run past her at a certain point. Come on. There we go. Okay, so once she's on this side of the bridge, she will continue pursuing. Okay, and then we can run past, and that's completely fine. We don't need to worry about her or fight her or do anything. And in fact, Mia's already almost killed her. So you can see it's worth it to just encourage her to come over across the bridge. Now here, it's worth it to go for the backstabs if you can. There is quite a few backstabs here that you need, for sure, but it's not a problem if you just continue to walk circles around her. Now for these guys, it's all about, you know, gifts again. Just doing enough gifts here to hopefully go for a backstab. No, backstabs are great, but not always required. Now, for the next enemy, it is not worth it to stay and fight, so it is worth it to run past and then dodge up the stairs, because she can hit through the stairs and she can end your run right then and there. So it's important to get to the missile as fast as possible and reset the area. Okay, great. And then we saw the butterfly fight. For these guys, you just run through there. And once we get to this point,
You can finally relax.
it will be better to go back to the parking garage and go down the well area and get to the Howling Pit. Going through the Howling Pit is going to be miserable, but it's a great place to farm because some of the enemies there do have some pretty good haze values that you can farm up simply and easily. So let me show you some of those guys. And the haze that they drop is significantly upgraded compared to some of these areas. So if you're trying to farm, you can use Bloodshot and Firestorm and
It's pretty hard to see,
Blazing
isn't it?
Roar for the bog predators here. No, not that one. So you can see that you can do some pretty decent damage on these guys, and you can see there that we just got 1,000, and that didn't really cost us too much danger, and we're able to farm up pretty quickly here. 1,000 haze at this point in time, being level 1 or whatever, level 20 or something like that, it's still a pretty decent amount of haze overall. And so it's definitely worth it at this point, to actually go for a couple of these areas to farm up some of these guys. So if you're looking for a good farm spot, this could be a great place for it. You get the GXH Assault at the parking deck. Yes. The charge drain on the Ivy Veils seems nice and safe. It can be. Yes, you're correct. So if we take something like this guy, the Perishable, it's not exactly, the ideal, but it's an Ivy Veil, and it could be useful in certain scenarios. It's not like a... Oh, whoops. I'm up on the ledge here. Let's get down. It's actually helpful for fellas like these, where you can get multiples all at once, and there's 400.
Let's look at Lantern
For guys like these, where they move quick, it's not going to be as beneficial. But you're definitely right that that doing something with the GXH Assault is definitely in the cards. I'll show you that here. And it's a pretty decent Pierce Veil. Let's go back to the parking deck and let's pick that up. And it's not a bad one for Pierce defense either, but that's not going to be relevant for this run at all. It will be something a little more subdued, because we won't be doing anything for defense. Obviously, we will be doing everything for offense. And as a Blood Veil, with
something nice.
pretty
We'll put
decent
that to good use.
damage overall. Let's get to a blood code that we can use. So 317 at a +1. That's not incredibly horrible, because as you can see here, something like the Prayer Shawl at +9, with 20% increase to our ice, or to our damage value here. 413 is not that incredible. So 413 plus 20% is, let's see, 10% is 40 plus 80 more, so it's almost 500 here, and we're at 317, so at a +1. So I mean, we're not losing out on a whole lot of damage by or gaining a whole lot of damage from using like a bigger Blood Veil or something like that. So keep that in mind at low levels like this. It's not that important what level your gear is, but as you farm up and you level up, it'll definitely be super important to level up that veil significantly, to make sure that you're getting the most damage out of it as possible. The funny thing is, at level 1, almost nothing really makes a difference except the gifts that you have. At later levels, your level will matter, but the reality is that most of the time it'll be more important what veil you're actually running. So for this, that will definitely be helpful in certain areas. We can go with the Ivory Grace here, and you can kind of see some of the damage values that this will yield. 1117, so that's pretty good. Gets us a little bit of Ichor, and it gets us some damage overall. Okay, good. And you can see that there are places where you can farm. You can kind of engage in some of these abilities here, and for areas like this where you want to get a first strike out on the enemy, having a veil like this will definitely be helpful. You won't be able to do like two attacks in a row, just because of the fact that, you know, it does take time for the recovery frames, so it's more important to actually get ready for the actual attack instead of like that guy coming in hot and heavy to get us some damage. So it's very, very important to just dodge out of the way and let Mia take the hit and everything, because otherwise, you know, whoops, I don't know how I did that. I shot to the side even though I was locked onto him. That's interesting. But yeah, definitely attracting these guys for one-on-one fights is super important. But that is where exactly that right there is very, very dangerous. Using a veil like this, and and I'm dead. But that is where it is extra dangerous. Is just the fact that you are locked into those recovery frames, and you don't have a great way out of it by any means at all. And so those are to be taken extra careful, because otherwise, you know, if you trigger an enemy, there's no way out of the animation, and there's no animation canceling from it. So it can end your run just like that, just because you used an Ivy Veil to try and attack an enemy around a corner or something. Now, it will be helpful and useful if you do know where the enemy trigger points are to do something like that with Ivy Veils, to make sure that you're triggering enemies like before they're actually active. But it's kind of a gamble, because of the long animation frames that it locks you into. It may or may not be worth it overall in the end. So this is not a run for like flash or expediency or anything like that. It is literally the most painful, longest painstaking run that you can possibly think of, and it is going to challenge people in a big way. I really don't think that I'll ever be able to do it, but I definitely think someone will be able to, and it'll be oh so beautiful of a treat to actually watch at some point in time. If somebody can actually do it, it'll be incredible to watch it happen, because there's no just simple running like through the straight path all the way through, because there's all these requirements like getting keys, killing enemies for keys, opening doors, the swamps, there's ledges that you have to climb up and drop off of, and then you have the excitement of the enemies in the cathedral where they teleport and they chase you, and have infinite aggro range, where if you run past them, they will always follow you. And so there is no easy, simple, just run past all the enemies in the cathedral. That doesn't exist. In the cathedral here, we will have to literally run past all the enemies, and just time all of our dodges. Because as you can see there, she will continue to pursue us, regardless of what we are doing. And so it is oh so very important that we continue running, or we actually kill her. And so that is the problem that we are going to have here in the cathedral, is you know, enemies of infinite aggro range These guys, obviously, they're no big deal. Completely not a problem at all. But we're obviously not going to do the invasions in the full run, because we don't need that vestige over there, because we don't need, we just don't need all the vestiges. Now, it might be nice and helpful to get all the vestiges, but we don't want to fight the Virginborn, because that's one more boss where the run could end very, very, very quickly. So we're going to try and avoid that at all costs. But you will miss out. Okay, Mia, you will miss out on Queen's on Isis. You will miss out on this blood code here. I don't have it because I don't have it on this character, but we will end up with Queen's ribcage, which will be, that'll be okay. That'll be fine. We'll have Twilight, we'll have Icarus Ice, two very good gifts. Dusk Edge is great for what we're going for, and Vodnik Mass is a massive damage value that we can count on for sure for big damage at different points in the game. Now these enemies are going to be super problem, and so we're just going to go for the parries on them, because they're easy to read at that point in time, and the polearms are easy to parry, the swords are easy to run away from, and we will have to let Mia take advantage of a lot of that activity. Oh, and that change in attacks right there is something that is going to seriously cost us, all of our possible runs right there. And I mean, you can't ignore these enemies though, because if you ignore them, they will chase you with their teleports over and over and over. So that would be another run killer right there. Just getting one tapped right there by these gold enemies. Now this one you can't ignore. You can run past it, but you can't ignore it. It will come after you, as you can see here. And so you end up fighting this enemy 1-on-1 or 2-on-1. Oops, wrong parry timing. Now that is also one of the bad parts, is that if you do go for a parry, a run can end simply just like that, like immediately. You get a parry and it's over. So the cathedral is going to be just incredible, because there's no simple path through the cathedral where you can get around the golden knights and actually not aggro them. So that is going to be a super problem for you as well. I mean, let's face it, the whole entire run is gonna be just a complete mess along the way. There's really no simple, easy thing about it, but I know somebody out there can do it someday, and I can't wait to see it be done. But these are just some of the thoughts I've been thinking about it, some of the discussions that have been rolling around in my head. We've kind of been talking about it in the comments with a couple of people, and so I wanted to kind of bring some light to it and kind of discuss it with everyone, just to kind of see where we're at and what it would take to actually get through here with a no-hit run from beginning to end in one sitting. Just gonna be absolutely bonkers incredible. Probably it'll have to be a lot of practice of area by area, like get to the boss, missile route back, and then run the area again, get to the boss, missile route back, and then get through the area, missile route back, and get through the area again, and just get a rhythm of what each area is going to take in order to actually get through like simply and easily, and learn all the enemy triggers of which one is active at what point, in order to understand how that's actually going to happen. So hey Sebastian, sorry Sebastian, it's let's see, 1 a.m. Here on the East Coast, so I'm gonna have to call it here for the night, but I just wanted to kind of bring some good attention to this, and kind of some understanding of what a no-hit run is actually gonna take for someone out there, some brave revenant who has like 8 hours on his or her plate to sit around and try this run. But it is this is the pinnacle of what Vayne is. It is what will divide one revenant from all others. All others will be scrubs compared to compared to that one singular revenant that's out there that will take on this amazing challenge. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. We'll give it another attempt at some point, and we will see about getting through. And maybe what we'll do is we'll just practice getting through an area, and then we'll checkpoint our way through, and we'll count up the number of hits in each area, and then we'll see if we can like continue that, and then we'll just try and lower the hits, because we won't get much practice if we continue to restart every single time. But we'll hopefully log the hits, and then we'll go through the whole game, and then we will try and reduce those hits as we get through, and we'll start to do some practice, and we'll start to see what it's going to take to get through here. So we'll see you guys next week for another stream, and might not be the hit list here. We might do something else, but we'll see, depending on interest and where folks are wanting to see what type of content. Yeah, we'll call it here. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll continue brainstorming, and we'll see you guys next week, and we'll see you over the weekend and stuff for more Road to 100 and some other gift videos and some other things. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll talk to you later. Have a great weekend. Bye.